Okay, let's start with the arithmetic operators first. So I define two variables, a equals 10, b equals 3. Let's add them together and display the results in the console. That's pretty easy, right? Run the application. So the result is 13. Now let's take a look at division. So I replace the add operator with division. The result is 3. The interesting thing here is because both a and b are integers, the result of the division ends up being an integer. If you like a floating point number as the result of the division, you need to cast both these numbers to a float. So, like this. Now if you run the application, the result is a floating point number. Now let's look at a more tricky example. Let's say C is 3, B is 2, and A is 1. I want to show you the concept of operator precedence. So if I type A plus B times C, what do you expect the result to be? From a mathematical perspective, B should be multiplied by C first, which means 2 times 3 equals 6, and then it should be added to 1, so the result should be 7. Let's run the application. So C# behaves exactly as what we expected. So multiply or division operators have higher precedence than add or subtract. If you like to change the precedence, you can do so by using parentheses. So in this case, if you would like to have A and B added together first and then multiplied by C, this is how we would achieve that. In this case, the result will be 9. There you go. Okay, now let's take a look at comparison operators. So let's get rid of C here and instead see if A is greater than B. Very simple example, right? The result is false. So what I want you to know here is the result of a comparison expression is always a Boolean value, which is true or false. We can test for equality. So double equal sign. In this case, A is not equal to B, so the result should be false. Now let's see the not equal operator. So simply have an exclamation mark here, followed by an equal sign. In this case, because A is not equal to B, the result should be true. Okay, now let me show you a more tricky example. What do you expect here? Well, first, this is the not operator, which is applied on Boolean values or Boolean expressions. In this case, this is a Boolean expression, and as you saw earlier, it was true because A is not equal to B. So we apply the not operator to that, and the result ends up being false. Let's run the application. So we got false here. But this code is not easy to understand or easy to read, because here we have two negatives. One negative and two negative. And for us humans, two negative is hard to comprehend. Two negatives always equal to one positive. So in your program, if you end up in situations where you have two negatives, make sure to always inverse them with one positive. So in that case, I can get rid of the first negative and convert the second negative to a positive like that, and we will get the same result, which is false. Now let's take a look at logical operators. So I create another variable here, var c equals 3. I'm going to change that to c greater than b and c greater than a. What do you expect here as the result? Well, c is greater than b, so the result of that expression is true. Also, c is greater than a, so the result of that expression is true as well. And here we have the AND operator. So true and true equals to true. Let's run the application. There you go. Now let's make a tiny change here. So this time, because we know C is not equal to A, this expression evaluates to false. True and false results in false. Let's run the application. So we got false. Now let's see the effect of the OR operator. So I'm going to replace the AND with OR, which is double vertical line. In this case, that is true or false. The result ends up being true. And of course, we can apply a NOT operator here, as you saw earlier, which changes the true to false. Now, this expression doesn't really look easy to understand. It's just purely for demonstration of how we can combine different operators and make up more complicated expressions. Okay, that's it for this lecture. I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you for watching.